YouTube fam, welcome back to the channel. It's your man LM Still Fit, back at y'all today with another video. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to the family, friends, and people that have supported me this far. I appreciate it. If you like seeing content like this, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out, keeps me motivated to keep giving you guys more. The purpose of today's video is to go over a DIY resistance band wall anchor setup that I created. As you know, resistance bands are used for a variety of exercises such as, working chest, back, abs, core. Anything you can do with a cable machine, you can pretty much do with the resistance bands. Of course, there are some disadvantages to that, but there are some advantages as well. In my case, with anchors that I set up myself, it helps out with being in a small space like a garage gym. So it's an advantage to working in tight, confined spaces. It also helps with doing rehab work, any type of exercises that you can think of or imagine that you could probably do with a cable machine. You could probably do it with resistance bands, just with less weight. However, some of the advantages of using a resistance band setup as opposed to a cable setup is, of course, it's less maintenance, a little bit less costly. The disadvantages is less weight, and then it's going to require a little more creativity. However, another advantage to using the resistance bands is, when you're working your muscles on a cable machine, things tend to be more linear, meaning that it's more straight line. With resistance bands, you don't have that track that the cables are coming off of the pulley, so you're kind of free to move around a little bit more, which of course is going to require more stability, and whatever requires more stability requires more muscles being involved, if you can think of it that way. So before I actually get into the exercises, I'm going to show you how and what I'm using for my resistance band ankle wall. It's a DIY project, so I'm going to talk you through how I did it and why I did it the way I did it. Okay, so we're going to flip the camera around and get into how I made this band wall. Okay guys, here's a full frontal view of my DIY resistance band wall anchor setup from top to bottom. I'd say it's about 7 feet long. And as I move over to the side here, as you can see, it's bolted to the wall by 2 lag bolts going into the studs. One up here on the top, and then there's another one down on the bottom. So that's a piece of 1x4. And then on top of the 1x4, I've got a piece of 2x4 that's slightly shorter. And the 2x4 is being held into the 1x4 by these wood screws that are about 2 inches long. And I've got one on either side at 8-inch intervals all the way down. So that makes sure that the 2x4 is secured to the 1x4 and it isn't going anywhere. But what also helps are the loop keys or the loop screws that the carabiners hang on. They're also going into the 1x4. And I think I've got 8 of those all the way down. So with this setup, this thing isn't going anywhere. The advantage to this is let's say you were to purchase the wall anchors for resistance bands that are sold on Amazon. Most of those come with either 2 or 4 holes in each anchor. And I believe they come in sets of 3 or 4. So you can imagine That's anywhere from 8 to 16 holes that you could be putting in your walls just to have 4 anchors, where I only got 2 holes in my wall and I've got 8 anchoring points that I can use. So I can do pretty much any type of workout that I want, or anything you can imagine doing on a cable machine, I can do here with the resistance bands, of course with a little bit less weight. Also, one thing to keep in mind is the resistance bands that you use. As I said, I'm using the carabiners. I've got different size carabiners. The bigger ones are for stacking resistance bands, so I can put multiple resistance bands through one carabiner to create more weight. So the resistance bands that I'm using are made by a company called GoFit, and you can find these at Academy Sports, ranging from about $10 all the way up to about 21, depending on the weight. This one happens to be a 90-pound resistance band. The handles come separately, but they're also made by GoFit. But the 90-pound resistance band, I believe, cost about 19 bucks. The heaviest from this brand being the 100-pound resistance band, and I think that goes for about $21. The quality of the resistance bands you get is important because they do get old, they do dry rot, and they will snap over time. The setup is going to hold. However, the resistance band over time may not hold. So make sure you take care of your resistance bands, keep an eye on them, check them for deterioration from time to time to make sure they're still good. And if you find any breaks in them, you might want to go ahead and replace the ones that are used more frequently and starting to go bad on you. So with that being said, I'm going to show you guys a few exercises that I do to stay in shape, or when I want to get a quick workout in, some of the exercises I do on this thing to supplement what I would be doing or offset some of the exercises that you would typically do on an actual cable crossover machine. So guys, as you can see, there's quite a bit you can do with the resistance band setup. If you like more videos like this, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Peace out.